It's a good ass vibe, good ass time whenever we link, whenever we meet. Good ass mood, good ass drinks, good ass rap on this good ass beat. It's hot, it don't need a hook, and I got flights I need to book. Good ass rhymes, good ass bars, good ass flow, good ass job, and I'm making good ass dough. I talk what I talk, know what I know, and keep it real. This a good ass show, that gas with Drees and Shell.
It's your boy 23Gs, man. We back for another episode of that gas, man. You know, you got me, and you always know who next to me. I got my boy.
It's your boy Shelter behind, man. Y'all already know what to do. Follow me on Instagram, SHELLTREVON. Let's go, gas.
Yeah, and even though we in Tampa, Florida right now, we got our guy from Philly, man. We played high school together with him, but he's doing big things, man. He helping kids get to college. He out here doing some shit with Eagles Fly, Eagles Fly. We gonna talk to him today. We got our guy Jeff in the building. What up?
What's going on? I appreciate y'all having me. Once again, my name is Jeffrey Edwards Jr., and you can follow me at J Edwards Jr. on Instagram, on Facebook, and also where I'm here to talk about is my company, pretty much Imbalance. So it's Imbalance Sports on Instagram, on Twitter. So once again, I really appreciate y'all having me here. Let's get it.
Let's go, man. So, yeah, man, you already know. We started out, you know what I mean, in high school. We played some high school football. You know, we go to college and everybody go their separate ways, man. I just want to know, how was your college experience?
So my college experience, it was lit. So pretty much like I have a little running joke where I tell everybody I had 2 freshman year and 2 sophomore years, because my first year I went to a school in West Virginia called West Liberty University. That was probably one of my funnest times in college, because my spring semester, it pretty much, I think the whole East Coast, we had like a crazy snowstorm. So for a month and a half, we had no class. Like we literally had zero class. And it was like every Friday they would try to get us to go to class, and then they would cancel class. So we literally were just kind of like partying the whole time. But then I transferred over because I went to school. I got offered a small scholarship to go to West Liberty, but since it was out of state, it wasn't paying really for anything, and I had to take out student loans. So I had to transfer to Millersville University, which was closer in state, so I could actually afford to go to school. But also going to Millersville, that's why I probably had the best time of my college experience, and I met a lot of my friends I have now. So it's like lifelong experience. So I loved it. It was amazing.
Yo, Millersville is in the suburbs of PA for real, yo. Like what was that like?
So it's actually in the Amish area. So it's like you would think you would see the Amish on the way driving up, but then you'll go through the city of Lancaster, and pretty much don't ever they get upset when you call it Lancaster, even though it's spelled is Lancaster. You gotta say Lancaster. But then once you get past Lancaster and you go to Millersville, it's basically it's like the suburb. It's more of an academic school. You gotta like find your fun. You gotta find the party and everything like that. But it's more of an academic. And one of my friends I have now, close friends, Jeff Boogie, my first couple of years here before he transferred over to IUP because they cut the track team, his house was a party house for Thursday to Saturday. His house was the party house. So it's like,
oh man, you taking me back to the college days, man.
Yeah. Thursday to Friday. I mean Thursday to Saturday, that's turn up day. Then Sunday, that's the recovery day.
Yeah, but I see you got your company shirt on, man. You talk about how your college experience was a little rocky. You had to go from school to school, kinda. Can you tell us more about the name of your company and more about it?
Yes. So pretty much it's Imbalance. So another running joke is everyone thinks, even including me, when I first picked the name, I thought that it actually, the spell Imbalance, it was I-N. And then I really Googled it, and it was like, no, it's I-M. So even in the shirt, even the name, pretty much it has the imbalance in it with the capital M, the capital B, the capital E at the end. And pretty much what we do for Imbalance, we help aid student athletes basically get scholarship offers so they can further their education and basically play at the next level. So that's something that I had a lot of experience in, and it's basically part of my story and my love and passion with football. It basically connects both of them. So it keeps me in the sports industry. It keeps me getting that because I'm 30-something years old. I really can't play football like that. I'll
Damn,
probably
you
get
30,
hurt.
30 something now, dog? God damn, we getting old, bro. We getting old.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember Grant. Grant plays for like semi-pro, and he was like, "Yeah, Jeff, you still got it. I see you work out. You come out." I said, "No. You see me work out. I can't do that."
Yeah,
Like I
no, no,
let
no,
the
no,
young
no,
people
no.
do it.
Cause semi-pro, they come out like once a week, and it's like, nah, I can't come out and play football like once a week. I gotta play football every day. I gotta train and stuff like that. Cause my body is different.
Exactly.
Cause I'm older. I'm like, yo, I might get a little bruise or something like that. I feel that joint for the next couple months. Nah, I mean,
Exactly. So that's why I was like, yeah, no. I'm gonna live through the youngest. I'm gonna let them play, and I'll live through that.
So what Imbalance, how you helping athletes get to college and things like that? Is it just football athletes, or can you run track? Could you play basketball?
So right now it's just football. So once I start to build my team and I get people, because football, like I said, football is my passion. So that's something I love. That's something I know I'm gonna put my 100% in. I can help those kids because I understand. I know what they're going through. I know the process. I've been through the process. So that's something I just want to solely focus on. Just have my little niche of football, and then once I start to build my team, I could then branch. I want to hire people that actually, all right. He played basketball. He went through the basketball experience. He played soccer, went through the soccer, baseball, etc., like that. Because I want to make sure we actually give the kids 100% opportunity to gain those scholarships and not just, all right, cool, I have these certain amount of sports, cool, it looks good to show off that I'm got all these sports and I'm really not helping them. So that's something I'm really focused on, actually helping those kids get scholarships to actually go to another level. So
how do you find the athletes that you wanna like help?
so when I first started, I had that question. That was a great question. It was like, how do I get the athletes to come to me? And it was like social media, cool. I'll post a football thing saying it will help you gain scholarships, and everybody would just flock to it. And that wasn't the case. So pretty much I had to like really like go through DM, and like I would literally go on football pages, even like what is it, like the Bachelor Report, Overtime, and stuff like that, and just find athletes, just find high school athletes. I'll either DM them or I'll like do whatever. And what I learned is everybody loves when somebody likes your picture. Everybody loves that. So it was like instead of DM, because I would literally just record like what happens when I DM them, if they respond or not. A lot of times, like 90% of times, they won't respond. The other probably like 7 or 8, they would actually see it and then say okay, and then nothing happens. Well, when I started liking the pics, just liking the football pic, they would start coming and they start asking questions, and then they were, all right, can you post me? Can you do this? Can you help me? So I started doing that, and then pretty much it just started rolling, Then when I post one person's highlight, and then they tag their friends, and it's like a cool thing. All right, I'm being posted by somebody, and it helps me get out there. So they will repost it, and then like everybody would just come. So at that point, it just started going.
I ain't gonna lie, cause I seen that you posted the quarterback from Roxborough. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, young boy is all right. You know what I'm saying? And he's
Mm-hmm.
from my high school. So I reposted that same video. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I see.
So
I
I can
appreciate that.
see, how that would, I mean, take to his liking. Like, yo, people are reposting my highlights from the Imbalance website or profile.
Yeah. So that is like a lot of times that's why I get the DMs. I get the DM. I have a new website basically that we're working on that should be out soon, like in a couple weeks or so. I will go around and basically talk to them about that, but they be like one of the DMs was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check your website out, but could you repost me? How about that? So I was like, yeah, I got you. So pretty much they love it. Like they love being posted on somebody else's page that's not just their page or their friend's page, because it gives them that excitement. Like, yeah, I'm working towards something and other people see me. So it gives them, instead of just having that their little following, you give them a broader following. So they really love it. Like, so once again, when you repost it, I appreciate that.
Is there like a certain age that you work with? Can they be in 8th grade, getting ready to get to high school? Do they have to be a senior? Is there a certain age that you target, or is it like all basically potential high school or college football players?
So it's all potential high school or college football players, but in regards to, because I say pretty much, I don't know, y'all heard the story that little seventh grader got offered a scholarship. Colleges, if they see your talent, they will want to offer you. So that's why I literally do it from youth football all the way. I even do it through JUCO. So I had a couple of JUCO, you go deep in my profile, a couple of JUCO people reached out to me. They were looking to get homes from their JUCO, their colleges, and I basically pretty much try to help them out as well. So I go from youth all the way through college football.
All right, so let's just say, right, Sheldon started running back on the team. I'm his backup. I mean, he got some offers from some Power 5 schools, but he get 100 yards a game. I get 70 yards a game. You know what I mean? And I don't get as much carries as him, but I'm still putting that work in. How, like, what's the process of me, like I'm not getting looked at like he is. Like, how should I go about, like, should I come to you and ask you to help boost me? How did that actually work? If you get what I'm asking.
So I get what you're asking. Pretty much, how can you get get your scholarships, your offers up, even though you're not getting as much as opportunity as the other, basically as Sheldon get.
I'm still getting 70 yards a game as a backup.
You're not nice. You're not nice like me though. You're not nice like me though. You're not nice like me.
Like I'm still like, I mean, it's like
you still getting yours, yeah. So pretty much it's just the colleges, they really just want to see, like, can you really play when you get that opportunity? It's not as like super difficult as people think. People think just because you're the backup, if they see potential in you, they will offer you a scholarship. Sometimes they're so focused on the starter, or it depends on what class they're recruiting for. Say you're a junior, but Sheldon's a senior, and they worry about recruiting. They try and get their senior class filled. So sometimes they will overlook the juniors because they're focused on the senior class. But if you actually can ball, there's really no problem for you getting a scholarship. You just need to get seen. So that's where we help a lot of people, because I had a lot of athletes where I reviewed their tapes and I sent out to coaches, and they were D1 athletes. They were just overlooked. So it's just getting that film out there to the coaches, because I don't know if you have a Twitter or anything like that. If you go, Twitter is like the main focus for a lot of college coaches. They don't like really Instagram, or they probably on Facebook, but a lot of their recruiting goes on Twitter. And they will literally drop a post saying, class of 23, drop your highlights. And there would literally be thousands of kids dropping their highlights in their tweet.
Okay,
and so a lot of times, especially during this season, you think the coach really going to look at 1,000 highlights? Not really. So it's like they have certain people they will go to find certain athletes that they might miss out on, because you're constantly looking at film. You're worrying about your team too as well. So if you got somebody that's basically just give you that one person, all right, here go Drees getting 70 yards a game. He balling, but he behind Sheldon. He behind him balling. All right, I see him now. So now, all right, let me focus on Drees too. While I can recruit Drees and I can recruit Sheldon. So it's just basically getting your film out in front of the coaches, where they probably have so much going on in their head and dealing with so many different things that they overlook.
So that was gonna be my question. How do you get the schools or the coaches to uh come to you or trust in um what they're seeing from uh the company or the site, what you're
Mhm.
providing from these athletes or in their film, and the information that they're getting from you. Uh, like how do you connect with those coaches? So I'm assuming I mean I heard you say Twitter and stuff like that, but how do you get these coaches or these schools to link in with these athletes?
So pretty much what I do, instead of just like say an athlete comes to me and he's like, I need help with my recruiting. I would say send me your film, send me your information. Once again, GPA is probably very important. A lot of times you need the GPA. So I would basically get all the information, but I would evaluate the film myself. So I would basically I googled a rubric, little rubric, and basically look and it tells you what coaches look for, what college coaches look for. I basically YouTube that as well. Basically, what college coaches looking for. So when I evaluate my film, I basically go like for every position, I go against those points. I literally probably in the past couple of months, I probably looked over 500 student athletes and just evaluate their film. And I see like this is even when they come to me for evaluations, I basically pick out what they're doing good, what they need to work on, and et cetera like that. And then I rank them as far as like, all right, just like, are you D1? Are you D2? Are you D3? Are you JUCO? So off of my evaluation, if I feel like someone is D1, if a D1 coach reach out to me and they need that a certain position or they need a player, I'm gonna give them that D1 player. I'm not just gonna give them everybody that reaches out to me. So that's where they actually believe in because they
Because
see the film.
you're trying to build trust with these schools and these teams also.
Exactly.
So you're
Mm-hmm,
not trying to
exactly.
just give them those scrubs. Like you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to be able to stand in front of them too. Like, yo, I mean, I believe in this kid. Like, yeah, give him a shot.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
So that's one.
huge, bro.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's exactly like I had a couple of coaches. It's like, all right, they asked for certain ones. I'm like, all right, let me go through my list. And when I evaluate, I basically, I don't know if you've seen when I post it, I have color coded. So I color code, all right, this one D1, this one D2, and then I put notes next to it like a star or whatever to basically tells me go back to the notes and look at this person and read your evaluation because this person might not, even though they D1, they might not fit this program. They might not fit this. So pretty much a lot of detail goes into before I give it out to the coach. Because like you said, building trust and building that you don't want to just because he's D1, he might not fit that program, and it might not be who the coach is looking for. So I don't want to mess that up because you only get one shot. You give them one athlete, and if they're not at that caliber, they're not at that level, they're not gonna come back to you. So you always got to be on point once you're sending out to the coaches when you send players out. So it is a lot. Yeah.
Do the kids do they have to pay for their service or how does that work?
So as of right now, me starting out, it basically everything was free. Every time I did something for an athlete, it's free. But once the new website coming out, they will basically it will be part of in the service of the website. But right now, everything free. This is just me
Building up the
going out
clientele,
actually.
building up the reputation, you know what I mean, building up the company.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta do like that. Actually, like I listen to like motivational speakers, and the guy was like, he get paid to talk for an hour like $20,000. He's like, but y'all
Mm-hmm.
don't know, I did this shit for 20 years for free. You know what I mean? Like now I'm getting my worth. So
Right.
sometimes it takes that. You know what I mean? Just building your name up there where so that like people want to pay you for that service. So you doing a great thing right now. Just even start starting from the bottom. I mean, just from liking pictures to just getting people interested, just like sharing information with people and people. But I actually got some few friends that's actually college coaches, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
from down south from Florida. They coach at USF, UCF, and stuff like that. And their big thing is like they don't want to go past Georgia for talent. They want to
Exactly.
stay in Florida, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and Texas. They like we don't need to go up north for talent. Like
No,
how do
that's
you feel about like when coaches say things like that?
So I actually don't feel any type of way because couple of coaches I'm working with now is literally just certain areas. Like I had one coach, he literally just recruits in Jersey, Maryland. I have one coach that just recruits Ohio, West Virginia. I have certain coaches that just recruit, just like you said, Florida, Georgia. So it really is harder because you might not have that quality type of athlete in that region or that area that they're looking for. So you pretty much probably got to go search out and find and go through the list of everybody that's basically reach out to you and then figure out, all right, cool. If this is the coach, he only looking for people in Georgia or looking for people in Florida. Let me make sure I get him the best quality athlete in Georgia and Florida. So it adds on to that, but it's not. I learned through this process. A lot of people do not recruit the whole United States. They do not. They have their small certain pocket areas, and they only want to do those areas.
So why is that?
So for the bigger schools, it's the talent. Down south, you get to play football. Y'all live down south. Young weather is amazing all the time.
Yeah, we get warm weather all the time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it's gonna be December. It's gonna be 80 degrees. Like I'm saying, you can run around.
You know what the coach told me? He said there's not enough grass in Philadelphia. That's why he don't recruit there. He said y'all ain't got enough grass.
When you play that Roxborough, it was rocks in there. Where was the grass? It still ain't grass there.
Actually, I tried to put him on Winston. You know, Winston was breaking all the D2 records. My little cousin, right? He played for Shippensburg. He broke like a lot of records over. Yeah. I didn't know that was your little cousin. Yeah. I don't want to break it down right here, but he broke like all these records at Ship, and I tried to I got a friend he coached at USF. So I'm like, yeah, I showed him the stats and all that. Like, what he doing? He like, oh, he from Philadelphia? They got too much grass. I don't go past Georgia. I mean, they ain't got enough grass. I don't go past Georgia. I'm like, he ended up playing after COVID. He ended up playing at Penn State for a year, but now he graduated or whatever. But it was just like crazy to see that they like it's like they had no interest because he was from North. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because we're more known for up north is more known for basketball. It's like. I think it's literally probably starting in 2011, 2012. That's when we literally like started producing a lot of D1 talent. That's when a lot of coaches start. All right, let me tap into Philadelphia area
for football.
Yeah, for football. Because when we were in school, you didn't see a lot unless you was like going to like Catholic schools where they actually do it. But now you see a lot of like Emotech pushes out probably like a good 5 D1 athletes a year. You got Northeast that's pushing out D1 athletes. So now actually like big schools are tapping into the city of Philadelphia and like, all right, y'all not just a basketball city or a basketball Northeast. So.
What do you think that's from? Do you think that's from because I know they used to like after I graduated, I feel like they started combining more of the like the public and the Catholic leagues and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It seemed like they started giving more of the public league schools more shine or more opportunities to play bigger schools. Is that something that?
So,
Jeff, can I put my like input in it before you go? Because I want to shout you out for this as well. So I feel like a lot of people like that's our age that like went through what we went through. They're the reason why a lot of these like Philadelphia athletes are getting attention. You know what I mean? Like people that we play with, like for example. You know what I mean? He been coaching at Imbalance and boosting up kids because he know what we went through. Like you didn't really get coached up. Like nobody really taught us how to go D1. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people that's our age, like Jeff, like like Dante. They went through where you know what I mean? They went through the not support. So they supporting people younger than us, which is making it easier for people in Philadelphia. So that's just what I see from the outside looking in. I'm like, I see a lot of people that's my age helping these kids and telling them, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you can go D1, and it's happening. So I want to commend, like, people like you and everybody else that's, like, my age stepping up into the young kids' life because people didn't give us the opportunity. They just said, you go play. You go do this play and this. You know what I mean? You basically had to learn on your own. But now we got people that's actually setting the tone and telling them, like, you need this. Like, you can't do nothing without this.
Yeah,
and it's working.
Because we didn't even when we was coming out of high school, we didn't really even believe that we could do it. Like, because we didn't really see too many. We didn't have too many examples of people coming from where we come from to go D1. Like, you had to be from like the South or I mean stuff like that. Like, what they wasn't giving us a blueprint of how to go D1. Like, even like you said, like you was missing a couple credits to even go play. Like, it's like, yo, we should have a blueprint from the time that we start playing football to the like yo, ask us what we want to do when we start playing football. You know, what is it that we want to do when we start playing football? Like, we not just coming on the field every day, like for after school, you know what I'm saying? After school, like get together, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a goal for the things that we want to do and the things that we want to accomplish for our families, things that we want to accomplish for our futures. So, like, we need to be around those people that want to help us get to those goals, you know? So we need a blueprint and a guideline of how can we get to where we want to go from when we're young, because we don't know, we're kids at that time, you know what I mean? So yeah, like Dree said, like, man, what y'all doing, y'all giving them the ropes, y'all showing them the guidelines and stuff like that. Like, that's dope, because we didn't have that back then, you know what I mean?
No,
So and it is super important, dog, like, because if you do tell kids what to do at that young age, they may be more in tune of staying on track. Like, they may be more, you know, in tune with not, you know, chasing after the females like they do, or you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get to college first. Like, play ball. Like, if you want to play ball, like, yo, know that you want to play ball. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. Like giving them the kids the confidence to say that, like, yo, I want to play ball. I want to go to college and play ball. Like, I know for me personally, like, yo, that was something I couldn't even say out loud at the time. Like, I couldn't even say it out loud because I didn't believe it really, because I didn't see it. You know what I mean? But what you guys are doing, you guys are making it possible and making it more realistic for kids to say it out loud, to know that it is possible. You know what I'm saying? And yo, it's dope, man. It's dope, man. But
no, I appreciate it. And basically, just go off what y'all saying. That is like, shout out to Tay, shout out to Kenny, shout out to Phil. Basically, our Roxborough brothers, they in the trenches with those kids. And like you said, they're building it up. They setting that blueprint for those kids because they learned, they've been through what we all been through, and they learned and actually coaching them up. And I say another reason why I feel like they're basically getting more shine and more spotlight is because same thing what Dree said is you're mixing now. So now, instead of playing like we would play Roman Catholic at the last game of the season, they start playing Catholic schools during the season. You're actually branching out now. Like, a lot of the Philadelphia schools are playing schools out of the state. They playing schools in Delaware. They playing schools in Jersey. They going down south and playing schools. They going across the state and playing schools, where we just stayed together in the public league and only played each other. And then another thing, go ahead.
And even that we played schools inside of the city, we still didn't like network with the schools that we played with.
Yeah, we didn't do none of that. Yeah, it was just us.
Social media crazy. Social media helped a lot.
Exactly.
And another boost, right? Like, I never lifted one weight at Roxborough. I didn't lift one weight. I never did no training outside of going to practice. All these kids is like literally training every day. They lifting weights. You know what I mean? They trying to get better, but nobody was there to tell me, like, you know what Bird used to tell me? You better eat some grits, and them boys gonna hurt you when you get to college. That's what he used to tell me. Yeah. Then I turned my ACL my first year in college. I told you, you should have ate them grits. Nobody ever put me in the weight room. Like, yeah, do this. I got to college. I ain't know what. I in the weight room lost like shit. They like, do this. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I was in the weight room, bro. I was in the weight room.
More power clean.
You needed to be in the weight room, bro. I was in the weight room, dog. But I definitely didn't know anybody else that was in the weight room. Like,
I didn't know what a power, like, half the shit they was naming do a power clean. I don't know what that is.
Right, I didn't know none of that. None of, like, I went in literally my first day at West Liv, they was like, all right, we doing the squat test. I'm like, all right, cool. The most I probably in Roxborough squat, I probably squatted like 135. So we on the receivers, and it was like, all right, put 280 on that. I'm like, huh? With 280? No. And then it was like real squats. It was like, oh no, ass to the grass, touch that ground, bro. I was like, oh my god, and I actually did it. It was just like they were just pumping you up. So it was like, all right, I was like, all right, cool, 1, 2, 3. Didn't know I actually could do it, but I actually did it just for them pump me up. But that was like the first time I actually like really lift weights, and I was like, oh, this serious. You see, mothers in here with 300 pounds benchable, just knock me out. I was like, bro.
My first college practice, I threw up. I never knew you could throw up from working out. We did the conditioning test and shit. I threw up. I'm like, like nobody never tell you about this shit.
That's when I dropped out, Jeff. That's when I dropped out.
110s is crazy. Like somehow I think we were supposed to do like 14, 15 110s. I swear I only did 8, but when we did, like, we was watching the film and they was like, all right, cool, you did this. It's like, all right, Jeff, yeah, you passed. I was like, I really watched this whole film, and I just feel like I only did 8 of these. But yeah, I'm gonna go with it because I ain't running this again, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I woke up. You had breakfast before. It was training camp, hot as shit in the summer. Had some breakfast. I never ate breakfast like that again. I was like, I'm not throwing up.
That was at Del Valle?
I didn't think it was possible to throw up from working out. Since then, I threw up a million times at working out.
That was at Del Valle?
Yeah, that was at Del Valle. Fucking threw up my first day. And get right back to it.
It's crazy. And it'd be like, all right, cool, you throw up, get back in line. Just run. we don't care. You're sick, get back in line, run. You'll figure it out later.
But exactly, you there to tell the next person, these next high school kids, like, listen, you got to do this, or this is going to happen. I mean, it was nobody there to tell me. There's nobody there to tell me about a conditioning test. Nobody there to tell me, like, you got to squat this. There's nobody there to tell me you got to bench press this. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what I'm saying. Shouting out to all you guys is, like, putting on for our city and making our city go recognized right now, because we got some D1 athletes balling right now. We got some NFL players balling right now. You mean, DeAndre Swift. I just did some fantasy drafts. DeAndre Swift, he top pick in a lot of drafts, straight from Philly.
Oh yeah, he's sturdy. He real sturdy out there, and so I'm really hyped to see what he's going to do for the actual full season and not injured, because he about to cause a problem. And Kyle Pitts for sure.
Yeah. So what do you say that your goal is for Imbalance right now?
So pretty much my goal right now is basically to get more exposure to Imbalance and to be able to help more kids and actually get more kids to D1s. Because right now, since I'm starting small, I'm working with D2, D3. I got a couple D1s, but I want to make sure that I have pretty much, I can lock down this whole country as far as every school and D1 to actually basically give those kids more of an opportunity and the best opportunity to get that exposure, to gain those scholarships. So it's just basically just branding, marketing, and basically just getting out there more.
What's some of the names of the D1s you got?
So pretty much right now I'm working with, I got Rutgers, I got basically Lafayette, Louisiana, and what is the other one? I got pretty much, what is that coach? What is the coach? It's
I'm going to watch this. They forgot their name.
No, I ain't gonna say the coach's name because
this is gonna be good for kids that's like they gonna be scouting their positions. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at different schools, they can be like, oh, I might fit in here, I might fit in there. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say wherever Malik Willis came from, but it's Liberty. University. But yeah, once again, I would never throw out the coaches. That's one thing in my app that's basically my website. It would be college coaches on there, but the athletes would never know what exact college coach is recruiting them unless they reach out to them. Because I don't want to break no NCAA, NCAA.
I got some higher recruits. I got some higher coaches for you, so you get some HBCU. We try to build up HBCU.
Yeah. Sure. That's definitely one of the things I want to get to, especially HBU, because that HBCU.
Shell fake try to build up HBCUs.
I'm with the HBCU. I went to an HBCU, so I'm with it. I went for a semester. I'm with it.
I party at some HBCU.
I party
So
at
you
some
know,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you already know. You already know. You know what I'm saying? They show us the most love. Like, you already know. Like,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
So that's definitely what I want to actually get to, because that's the wave right now. Instead of like basically everybody trying to go to Alabama, Ohio State,
Jackson State. Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? Dion.
Stop saying Jackson State. That's the only reason. Stop saying Jackson State.
But why not though? Why not?
Because it's more. It's more than Jackson State.
You're right.
That's why. It's more than Jackson State.
But if you can play for Dion, I'm gonna play for Dion.
Exactly. Stop saying
here.
HBCU, say Dion then. They ain't all HBCUs.
If I could play for Dion, I'm gonna play for Dion.
Exactly.
Hold on, you got Eddie George at Tennessee State. What you talking about? You got some big names at the D1 schools. You got Eddie George at Tennessee State. You got what's his name? The old Cleveland coach.
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
He in my DM about some liquor shit.
Dog, I will play at all those schools. I will play at all of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm with that.
So you named 3 HBCUs out of 100.
With NFL head coaches. Yes, I will play for all of those.
That's the only one. Nah,
I will
the only
play for all of
3.
those.
Yeah. Okay,
You know
go to their games
until
and
the
pack
other
their
ones
stadiums.
get online, get on board. Yeah.
Pack their stadiums so people can go there.
Jeff's gonna get on some top athletes. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get online. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna pack their stadiums.
You know what I mean? He gonna get Chaney a top running back. You know what I mean? Top quarterback. He gonna get him on
They
board.
don't got a football team.
Huh?
They don't got a football team.
Chaney don't got a football team no more?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't got a football team.
Chaney don't got a football team no more.
No.
Since when?
It's like 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah.
See, Jackson State. He don't know HBCU.
But listen though.
All he knows Jackson State. That's all he knows. Jackson State. Deion Sanders.
No. This is why we need more people like Jeff, dog. Because it's no way that Chaney is their first HBCU and they don't have a football team. It's no way.
There's no way. You should know that. If you HBCU, Mr. Jackson State.
I live in Florida, bro. I live in Florida, yeah.
You know Jackson State, they had no water.
Yeah, I'll follow Jackson State.
Yeah, I know Jackson State.
I don't follow Chaney. no more. I went there, but I don't
That's my whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
There's not only one HBCU in the world, bro.
All right, man. Jeff, we gotta get Chaney a football team again, bro. Come on, what you need me to do, dog?
Speaking of Florida, Jeff, I know you
have a cookout. You need to have a cookout.
Yeah, we definitely, we got it. We did that cookout.
We're gonna set that up.
Speaking of Florida, bro, I know you spent some time in Florida. How was it spending? Like, what? How did you end up in Florida? And then I don't know, like your transition back to PA. Like, how did that all go down?
This is perfect because this goes into what a lot of people want to hear anyway. So when I was it was my senior year at Millersville, so I'm getting ready to walk, and my uncle hit me up and said, "Congratulations, I'm proud of you. Your mom just told me you're about to graduate. Like, are you doing anything? Like, do you have any jobs lined up after school?" And I was like, "No, I'm still looking." He was like, "Well, I'm moving," because he was in the Navy. Not in the Navy, he was in the Air Force, and he linked up with a couple of his former Air Force guys, and one of the guys started a company, and they got government funding, and they basically do disaster relief. So they were moving to Homestead, Florida, to help out with some immigrants, and basically like anybody from basically we dealt with kids from Mexico, South America, and basically help them get legally into the United States and find family members in there so they can live with. So he asked me to come down there. So I was like, yeah, I'm down there, because I didn't have anything lined up yet. So as I'm down there, I'm working basically 12 hours a day. We basically worked 14 days straight, 84 hours basically a week. So we had to work a lot. And throughout that process, I'm sitting there, and a lot of times, let me tell you, I was getting paid a lot of money to work. Out of those 84 hours, I probably worked some weeks, probably 2 hours out of those 84 hours. Like, legitimately. At certain points, a couple weeks, I probably worked 30 minutes out of those 84 hours.
We getting paid all that money, man.
Yeah, you was stuck on it was an Air Force base. We were stuck on the Air Force base down there, and you really couldn't leave.
You Charlemagne, bro. You Charlemagne. Yeah. I swear Shell is Charlemagne.
And Homestead.
You'll be listening.
Yo, I took a lot of hits to the head, Jeff. Don't even.
No, you good. But
he do this every week. He'll listen. He's Charlemagne. You Charlemagne at this.
I played line, Jeff. I took a lot of hits to the head, bro. Don't even worry about that.
No, you all good. But it's an Air Force base in Homestead, Florida, that we basically was stuck on. So I had a lot of time, so I'm sitting there applying to sports jobs. And I applied to the internship with the Eagles. Probably 2 weeks later, because we all had certain days that we get off. And a lot of times, once again, I'm the only person from Philly down there, so I was always by myself. So on my way, on my 2 days off, I was going down to Key West. And I was going to go down there and turn up down there. So as I'm driving, I get a phone call, and it says, Lincoln Financial Field. And I'm like, why would Lincoln? Oh, this the Eagles. And I accidentally hung up on them because I'm driving and trying to answer the phone at the same time. So luckily, I called them back and it was like, somebody called from here. They was like, you want to schedule you for an interview for this internship. And I was like, I do the interview. It was like, yeah, can you come in tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming in tomorrow. So as I'm driving, I'm like, bro, you're basically in Florida. You're at the bottom of the bottom because Key West is the bottom of the bottom of Florida. How you going to get there tomorrow?
You like, how the hell am I going to get the VA?
Exactly. I'm like, why would you say that? Why did you just tell them you in Florida? So as I'm driving, I'm like, all right, either go back to the hotel and book the flight or keep going to Key West and then book the flight once you're in Key West. Because I was like an hour away. I was like, I'm going to book the flight in Key West. So drove down to Key West, parked my car, booked the flight, first class. That was probably one of the best little things. The company paid for it too. On their dime. So booked the flight to Philly. Then I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to stay down here for 4 hours. I'm going to turn up and then I'm going to go back and then get ready to go back to Philly. So I went down there, grabbed me a little scooter, enjoyed the area. It was basically like Bourbon Street down there at that time. So it was turned down there. Came back, drove 3 hours back to the hotel. My flight wasn't until probably like 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning. So I was just sitting there chilling. And then I drove to the airport, flew home, came to my parents' house because I had my car in my parents' house, got changed, threw on my suit, hopped in the car, went down to the Eagles internship. And the reason I really feel like I got the position is because they was like, yeah, are you based in Philly? I was like, no, I'm in Florida. I literally just came from Florida. They were so shocked about me coming from Florida and within a day that was basically the whole interview. So they was like, so when are you going back? I'm going back today, right now. After I leave here, I got to go back because I got to go to work at 7. So literally left the interview, drove back to my parents' house, dropped the car off, took the train or the bus, whatever, down to the airport, flew to the airport, and then basically went to work for another 12 hours. And then by the time it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, because I worked the night shift, got the email, was like, yeah, we want to offer you the position, the internship position for the Eagles, for the ticket office and the fan service department. So that was crazy. That whole, I literally didn't sleep.
Eagles is your childhood team, right?
So no. So let's put it like this.
Yo, don't say Cowboys out here, dog.
No. So this is part of my internship. Like literally, I was the only person in my intern class that was from Philly. And the first day of our internship, they set us down. They was like, all right, so what are your favorite teams? Everybody went around the room. Technically, my favorite team is Tampa Bay.
What? Boo.
But I like players more than I like the team. So I go off of players more than I would root for a team. I just like Philadelphia teams because I'm from Philly. So, of course, I'm going to root for every Philadelphia team. But the Eagles wasn't really, but they stopped it. It was like, all right, cool. Y'all all now Eagles fans. Your favorite team is the Eagles. You do nothing. Eagles.
So, lucky for you, they won a Super Bowl that year, right?
That was my second year we won the Super Bowl.
How many people was in the room at that time?
So they do it by every class is different. My class was only 10 people, but we were the fall class. Then they had the spring winter class, and that'd be around the same people. But during the summer class, they usually have like 25 to 30 people doing the internships.
And what are your responsibilities during the internship?
So it's to take it off. It was ticket and fan services. So it was 2 different departments in one department. So we all started off in ticketing, and for the Eagles and the NFL, pretty much, probably except for like lower level teams, the renewal rate is basically at 98%. So what you're really doing, you're not selling any tickets. You're basically just answering calls, helping people out with their ticket packages, basically making payments on their ticket packages and helping them do certain things. And then I got moved within a week to the fan services side. So during the fan services side, it's more interactive. Like in the ticketing during the games, you're in the office. The fan services side, you're out the office. You're basically at the stadium dealing with any fan complaint, any fan issue. You're basically going around dealing with, like, if you go to, I don't know if it's everywhere they have the same color shirts, but at the Eagles, it's called red shirts. And those are basically like 2,000 people that basically work there during the games, and they basically direct people. They do a lot of different things, and you're in charge of them. And then any issues that they have, they call you, and you got to go deal with the issue. So pretty much I was just dealing with a bunch of issues.
I got a complaint. Y'all season package, y'all season season holder package was ass. Y'all ain't give shit out. Y'all gave all fucking
Jeff. He a cheap ass nigga.
What?
Don't even.
Let's be real. It is.
They got one of the worst season holder passes packages they gave out this year.
No, I seen.
It's bad.
Yeah. So what I seen?
They gave out 5 schedules. Like they don't got the schedule already, and a fucking bid with a cup holder on it.
I think it was Oakland season ticket package. They gave them like the box to blow in. I said, "Oh my god, this is amazing." Compared to the Eagles, they give you a little flag and stuff. I can't say that much, but yeah, they give you.
They gave all trash.
It ain't there. Now I be seeing the stuff that they be giving season tickets. I be like, "That's what you giving them?" Okay. Right.
I see like Browns got jackets and all that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yo,
they got jackets.
Yeah, Eagles doing the fans dirty. They give them nothing
because they know they're gonna come. Eagles know they're gonna come regardless. They're like, man,
give them a discount. They give them a 20% off at Wawa.
Yeah.
Right, you know they get a discount on your tickets.
Taking gas, they be good. They gonna come regardless.
Well, Jeff, man, we want to thank you for sliding by, hanging out with us for a weekend, man. We got, you know what I mean. Thank you for checking up with Gas Ready.
Oh, you got come down here, dog. I mean,
go to a bus game,
bro. Real rap.
Oh, I you.
I mean,
definitely want to come to the bus
game. Yeah, we was at Eagles Bucks playoff game last year, man. We're gonna have to set this up, man. We're gonna have to set up a game. I mean, we can come to.
Just let me know. You know,
I'm at everything. I'm always. Unlike Shell.
I didn't even know Cheney ain't have a football team, dog. So I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down.
We want to thank you for sliding through. You want to get out of here.